I think it's about time we have this conversation. It's on how I felt growing up in the father-daughter relationship we could have had. Yes, I do know you're my father, but being in that position means stepping up and actually being here for me or making me feel welcomed around you. Over the years, you've caused nothing but pain and fear. The pain started after you got with Leslie. She body shamed me for being too big. It hurt more than that. She did that towards me, even though she's also big, but she blamed my mother for how my body is formed. I told you the clothes that she was buying for me were too tight on me. The jeans I had to wear around the house with you and her left purple marks on my waist that hurt a lot. You sat around doing nothing to solve this issue, but told me to lose weight even though I was trying so the body shaming would stop. She did stop now that I'm over 18 years old. She made it clear that she hated me with all the rude comments. You never stopped her from saying rude and disrespectful comments about me and my mother right in front of you. Who would let their girlfriend do that? Oh wait, you did.
All that bond you think we don't have. Most of the problems I can blame you for. Why, you may ask? It's because you caused her to feel insecure about you cheating or getting back with your ex. I'm your daughter, not an object that you can use to get back with my mother. She left you for a reason, which you know of, so maybe fix your relationship with Leslie before you lose me as a daughter completely. Let's talk about that time you got mad at me for lying, but I wasn't even lying. I tried telling you the truth, but clearly you only saw what Leslie said to be the truth. She said I had 3 cupcakes, 2 bags of chips, but all I was allowed to have was an apple. I was told I needed to lose some weight, so an apple would do. I wasn't even allowed to have a single hot dog, yet you believe her words over mine. I'm your daughter, for crying out loud. Why would I lie about what I eat or put in my body? I wouldn't. Over the years, I got used to the behavior and disrespect from Leslie.
I understand I was a kid from another woman, but that shouldn't change who you're supposed to be. You're supposed to be someone I can feel safe with or happy to see. I will admit I did start lying to you, but I had my own reasons for that when I had to come see you for your weekends. But I would come up with an excuse to stay with my mother. I only did that because I couldn't take another weekend with Leslie's disrespecting me. You may not know this, or not even notice, but you treated your kids differently from one another. Yes, I know you had 2 sons with Leslie who are named Kyle and Lucas, but how you act with them is completely different on that, how you act with me. I had to face reality on that. Kyle and Lucas are lucky to have a father who is there for them. When they want someone to play with, talk to, I didn't even have that growing up. I had to deal with a father who wasn't even there at all for me. And you gave them all your attention, leaving me with nothing but pain and being left out, not wanted.
Why I said fear at all at the beginning. I didn't see you as a scary person until the argument that you and Leslie had that involved yelling and violence. You all were yelling about something, but it only took a second for you to have your hands around her neck, pushing her down towards the floor. You could have stopped, but you didn't, even with your kids in the room watching what was going on. Kyle, Kyle and Lucas may not remember what happened, but I will. Remember what happened that day. You didn't even try to stop what you were doing to Leslie. Your sister took your kids to Grandma's room and locked the door, but did you know I was in the room longer watching you while frozen in fear that I could be next. Luckily, Kelly came back for me, so we didn't have to see you.
Kyle and Lucas were crying because they wanted their mother, who you were hurting in the wrong way. Me and Kelly were trembling while trying to figure out what we should do now. After an hour of yelling, it came to a complete stop, and everything went silent. Before we knew it, Leslie came knocking on the door asking for her kids. She took them to the car so she could leave, knowing that was something you did not like. So you followed right behind her to see if you could stop her from leaving, which didn't seem to work in your favor.
I was still inside with Kelly when I asked her to call my mother to come pick me up. My mother said she was coming get me, but you came back inside hearing me on the phone with my mother. I rushed to end the call with my mom so you couldn't say anything to her. You said it in a mad tone I wasn't allowed to go home because it's your weekend. Then you took time out of your precious life to call my mom to tell her that she doesn't need to come get me anymore. Deep down, I didn't want to say, stay with you after what had happened. I wanted to go home to my mom, leaving you like Leslie did with her boys. Leslie didn't even think for a second to take me with her. I'm thankful for Kelly. She stayed by me the rest of the night, waited for Grandma to return, while Leslie, Cal, and Lucas aren't here anymore. They said we should have called the police, but we didn't because we were scared. Once we finished the conversation, my mother called Kelly on the phone, wanting to speak to me. I could tell by the sound of her voice she was worried sick, asking what was going on, so I started to explain everything to her before she asked if I still wanted to go home.
My mother, yes, but it's your weekend, so I would stay. So a fight didn't break out over me wanting to leave. I told my mom I loved her and that I'll see her on Sunday. After the call ended, you came back to a mom who was mad at her son and two sisters who didn't like how you handled things around your kids. You had a long conversation with Grandma before getting on the phone to call Leslie so you could apologize for what you have done. She did forgive you, but she said she wouldn't return back for the rest of the weekend. I did end up staying with you for the weekend, but I didn't think I'll be able to be as close feeling to you without feeling scared that you'll hurt me. I did reply when you were speaking to me, but if you expected a hug or an I love you, your best bet is forget that. I was happy when Sunday came along because I would finally be able to leave without feeling scared of you. I told Grandma and Aunt goodbye and I loved them, and then I got into the car and waved goodbye to you. Hopefully, knowing all of this, you can see everything that has affected my life in view of you. My father, thank you for having the time to listen to this damn conversation.